Hello, I'm Ipo, and we're here to talk story. Today's segment is about journey through cities and towns, reflection on life, community, and home.
Hey, I'm Daniel. Let's just jump right into exploring how the cities and towns we've lived in have influenced our friendships, shaped our interests, and helped us discover what home really means. So, Ipo, what cities have you lived in before?
Oh, Daniel, I have a list of places, but let's just start with Hawaii. In Hawaii, I've lived in Waipahu, Kaneohe, Kamoala, Hawaii, where Kiki is from. Kahului, Makawao, Pukalani, Kihei on Maui, Brazil in Bohichiro. That's where Gajina is from. I think that's how you pronounce it. And Australia, Perth. The Philippines, Mandaluyong is where Taro is from. Colombia, Acasias, where Brownie is from. And Virginia in Gainesville, where July lives at the moment. And you?
Well, I've only lived here in Colombia, but most of my life I lived in Valle del Cauca. Specifically, I lived in Cali, Buenaventura, Buga, then I moved to Acacias, and now I'm living in Bogota, where Mary lives.
Nice. So, how does the pace of life differ in each place?
Well, I've only lived in like big places twice, but that was when I was a little kid, so I don't remember much of it. I do remember how it was in Buga and Acacias, and it's really slow compared to here in Bogota when everything goes pretty quickly compared to those places. And I remember when I was in first semester that I had some classes in the center, and I would spend the whole day in a matter of seconds. So time here goes extremely fast, and I'm pretty sure traffic has a lot to do with it. And you?
For me, well, island living and the rest of the world is so different. Hawaii is on cruise control. And so, the rest of the world seems to just live its life very fast. Um, or people are in a rush, or like you in Bogota, there's always a lot of traffic, like I experienced in the Philippines, where technically it would only take you 20 minutes to get from point A to point B, takes you at least 2 hours in traffic. And so that's my experience. And I too, as you have experienced horrible traffic in Bogota, just hours of waiting in traffic is extremely annoying. Here in Virginia, I don't know. I've experienced traffic, but nothing close to what I experienced in the Philippines or in Bogota. So as far as lifestyle, we have this sticker on Maui that says "Slow down, this ain't the mainland." And it's funny because I drive probably very Hawaii. I like to go fast, but I also just not in a rush to go anywhere, and I also like to time it where I have time to get to where I need to go with even extra time to just be there. So I'm not rushing. And I think for me, if I'm in a place that rushes, then my tolerance kind of like goes, it's just the anxiety of like, why you in a rush? Slow down, enjoy life, like that saying, stop and smell the roses. That's kind of like maybe the Hawaii mentality. So, what do I know? Anyways, how different was it for you to how different was it for you to make friends in different places or anything?
Uh, Before, for me, it was pretty hard to make friends. Like, I felt really weird, even afraid to even talk to people. But then every time I had to move to another city, I would have to make friends eventually. And I think I started talking with people more when I met you. Like, I had to talk with other of your students. And then when I came to Bogota, it was surprisingly easier for me. Like I started to feel more comfortable talking to people, and making friends for some reason wasn't as hard as it was before in you.
Up until I think a few years ago, my answer would be I don't have a problem making friends anywhere I go. But my experience in Colombia has been very interesting overall because it's been difficult to make solid friends. Um, and again, I think culturally, friends have a different definition culturally, no matter where you are. Like, say, for instance, the Philippines, you're automatically somebody's friend when you just talk to them. And
Mm.
it's like, oh, this is my friend. And it's like, we just met. So again, culturally, I think friendship is very different. In Hawaii, we have so many people that come and go. So we do make friends, but we do make a lot of acquaintances, which is not the question you asked. You asked about friends. And so, um, back home we have, ride or die friends we call fam bam, and we treat them like family. And even though we're not blood, the definition goes through and through. Like how I treat my family is how I treat you. So that's fam bam. But I've also noticed that in Colombia, it's been just really difficult to have those solid kind of friendships that I'm used to. In Brazil, I have met a lot of people. I have friends in Brazil. I have two best friends um, in Brazil, and I have friends in the different countries that I've been to. I can name at least one or two. But in Colombia, it's difficult. It's like my students are my friends. But when I say ride or die friends, that's a difficult, like if someone said if I had ride or die friends in Colombia, I would say no. If they asked me if I had ride or die friends in Virginia, I would say definitely not, because I don't even have friends in Virginia. Here you have to make an appointment just to go have coffee. And to me, that's just mind blowing because it's like, okay, like, oh, I can fit you in next week, Tuesday, just for a cup of coffee. It's like, okay. So I would say lately, and part of it could be my age. I'm not too sure, but I am a friendly person. Back home they call me Auntie Aloha. So I know that I like meeting people. I like talking to different people, and I enjoy meeting people and making friends. But over the last couple years have been really difficult. So yeah, that's my answer to that. How did each place shape your view on what home means to you?
Well, before I used to think that home was just a place where you feel comfortable. But I'd say that a city that has influenced like my point of view about the meaning of home would be Bogota, and simply because I'm no longer living with my family. and that made me realize how much I miss them. So now I understand that for me, home is not just a place where you feel comfortable, but a place where there is someone uh, that welcomes you when you get to your house, and a place where you don't feel lonely, but actually loved. So that would be the definition for our home to me. Yeah. And you?
That's cool. These places I've been and the places God has taken me has made me appreciate Hawaii so much more. Not that I took Hawaii for granted. I never taking being born there, raised there, lived most of my life there. I've never taken growing up in Hawaii. I also never thought I would go anywhere. I've never had the desire to leave Hawaii. Um, but on the journey that God has laid before me, I've gone pretty much a lot of places in this world that I thought I would never go. And so because of all these experiences have made me appreciate home. And so I don't I think when I'm away from home and I want to feel like I am at home, because the early years I struggled a lot. I cried a lot because I wanted to go home because no place ever felt like home. And I had to learn to find the beauty in things like I would at home. So knowing where I could go to a river, it's not the ocean, but it's a body of water. And because I'm used to going to the beach quite often, finding a body of water just helps me to remember watching the sunset over water, even helps more for me to feel home, even though I'm in different parts of the world. Watching the sunrise, the full moon, all of these elements help me to feel like I'm home in Hawaii, no matter where I am in this world. And so, another part that helps me feel like home is the way I continue to love and care for people, because that's kind of like how I feel when I'm at home, where people take care of me, love me. And again, it's not just a one-way street. It's just, you know, our fam bam. You, if someone's down or if you don't hear from that person all day long, it's like somebody's concerned about you. Like, where are you? Are you okay? You know, just having that sense of community, family, home. I found that I can draw from all these elements wherever I am for it to feel like home. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Well, I think that wraps up our talking story, which is, some people might think it was rambling on, but, talking story, we covered some things. We introduced you guys to some of the characters that are in our upcoming books coming out in October and also future other dates.
Thank you very much for watching our videos, and I hope you enjoyed this. Ciao.
Peace.